Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today's December 7th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery, and you can see our system rolling through here with some pretty chilly air behind it. You can see all the cold air cumulus. Had some lightning strikes down there across northern California, some moderate rain moving through some of western Oregon and western Washington at times. Some snow will be piling up across the Cascades as we go through the day today. But if you look back across the Pacific Ocean, we've got another atmospheric river headed towards the Pacific Northwest, and you can see it out here. It's not as sinister as the Panda Express we just went through, but it is going to rise some snow levels here across the area and bring another round of some heavy precipitation for some areas. And with things saturated already, we could be talking about some landslide threats here for some of the lower elevations. We'll dive into those details as we go through the video here this morning. If we look a little bit closer, you can again see that chilly air off the coastline. It's going to help some of the snow pile up as we go through the day today, and I'll show you what's coming this weekend as well, because it might actually start as rain with that atmospheric river and then kind of warm things up at some of the higher terrain. Looking at the last 24 hours of precipitation, you can see across the Cascades, and Oregon was kind of being targeted yesterday there as well. Kind of a sharp cutoff there as you move eastbound and across some of southern Oregon there as well. I got some comments on that, and you can see northern California got some nice rainfall. But if we look at 72 hours, you can see that end portion of the atmospheric river there across Washington and some of northwest Oregon. And if we look at 168 hours, you can see, the last week or so has been pretty downright wet here, especially Cascades on west and some portions of the northeast Washington, Idaho Panhandle, and eastern BC even. But you can see some of the rain shadowing effects here across Oregon and Washington also. As I mentioned, atmospheric rivers are low-level phenomenon. As they run into terrain, they tend to be very dry on the backside of that terrain, and you can kind of see that highlighted there. So this is day 3 excessive rainfall outlook, Saturday morning through Sunday morning, and the slight risk has been issued and kind of trended north. I mentioned that might occur yesterday, and you can see there is a slight risk for the Washington, Oregon coast and the Olympic Mountains there as well, and some of the metro area of Seattle and all the way up towards Bellingham and Portland is kind of included in that as well. And there could be some landslide potential with this also. And they mentioned that the northward trend in it here, they do have this excessive rainfall outlook discussion out there. So kind of interesting. Things are already quite saturated. They mentioned 2 to 5 inches additional rainfall. So in the meantime, though, we have the 6 to 15 inches of snowfall. You get winter weather advisories across the Cascades, Washington, above 3,000 feet, including all the passes here. There's going to be some snow even for Snoqualmie passes. You can see probably up over half a foot there. And now looking at a wider view of things here, so the Hawaiian Islands, there's our atmospheric river out here across the Pacific, and here's the system moving through now. Definitely much chillier than what we've been dealing with the last few days, so that's going to continue to move through. Get a little bit of a break here as we go through Friday night into Saturday. Then the precipitation starts to arrive for western BC as we go through the morning Saturday. Then you see that move into western Washington Saturday afternoon, and you can kind of see that prolonged period of rainfall. We're clicking through at 6-hour clips here, folks, so that's going to drop some pretty good rainfall amounts again as we go on in through Monday morning and kind of wrapping it up there. And then hopefully this is right and we get a few days break before the next systems start to move into the Pacific Northwest. Taking a look at the 80-meter wind speed here on the NAM 3KM, I just wanted to show you what's coming up here. So the winds are going to get a little bit gusty here with this atmospheric river as they arrive also, mainly for the coastal areas and some of the northwest interior. Some strong southeasterly winds, probably gusting up over 40 miles per hour, 45 plus maybe for the coastline there as well. And this would be on the day Saturday. Now taking a look at composite reflectivity, this is what the Doppler radar may look like as we go through the day today. I'm going to zoom in a little bit there as well, and you can see kind of the bouts of moderate, maybe some brief heavy rainfall associated with that, some convergent zone activity across some of the central Cascades, some snowfall ongoing all the way in through this evening, then another little round and a surge of moisture there as we go through tonight into Friday morning. Showers definitely on the wane by the time we go through the day tomorrow, but then you see the next system start to roll towards the coastline as we get towards Saturday morning, and again a time of prolonged precipitation with rising freezing levels across some of the higher terrain. It's not going to get as high as it was last round here, but still could be some cause for concern. And this is looking at the UW model here, so I'm going to zoom in a bit. We're looking at freezing levels, so you can see as we are in these purples here, that's about 2,000, then the light purple here is about 3,000 feet, but we're doing okay for now. And then you start to get in towards Saturday and Sunday, and you can clearly see the rising freezing levels starting to take over here. Some of it showing getting up actually 6,000-7,000 feet across some of the Cascades, at least for a time. But the good news is by the time we get into Monday morning, it's going to come back down again as well. So we just have to endure that time frame. This is about 1 a.m. Sunday morning here, and I'm going to scroll back here a bit. And you can see that system incoming here on Saturday. Should be snow for the most part, and then it switches over, though, as we go on into Saturday night, into the Sunday morning for some of the passes. It'll change to rain for some areas there. Then the precipitation tapers off. Now taking a look at this is actually freezing level above ground level here. So if you see the pinks out there, that means the freezing level is about at the surface where these mountainous areas are. So as we scroll through here, you can see some snowfall occurring as we go on in through tomorrow across some of the Snoqualmie Pass area, and anything that falls will be snow across the mountain areas. But then as you can get into very early Sunday morning, you can see that taper off here, and we start to bring some rain up towards the passes with the arrival of that atmospheric river. Taking a look at 850 millibars, 5,000 feet. You can see the chilly air over the area now. This is both European models here, and this is the actual anomaly here on the left. So let's scroll through this, and you can kind of see, let's scroll ahead here a little bit, and you can see the chilly air over us as we go on in through tomorrow night. But then things start to change. On the left here, you can see that abnormally warm air there, and you can see that tongue of warm air also on the actual 5,000 foot temperatures there, kind of pointed at the Pacific Northwest. It starts to warm things up across our mountainous areas as we get on into Saturday night. Taking a look at Stampede Pass is the cross section here. The top of this would be 10,000 feet, and there's the surface there at Stampede Pass. It's actually off a little bit here. So this is showing at 31 feet, but I just wanted to kind of show this Stampede Pass is going to be further up here, but we are going to be warming up on the day Sunday. Kind of ignore the lower levels of this. There is an error in this elevation there, so we'd be looking at here. But you can see the warm up that will be occurring on Sunday morning associated with that atmospheric river when things will turn to rain. And Stampede Pass, so some of this will start as snowfall, but then it'll change to rain on the day Sunday or early morning Sunday as we go. This is Astoria. Check it out. Over 3 inches of precipitation in a 24-hour period as we go on into Sunday morning, maybe on into the afternoon as well. Seattle Tacoma International. Check this uptrend out. 1.42 inches of rain would not be good for the landslide potential around here. We are already above the threshold, and this will just add to that potential for some of the steeper slopes across the region of Western Washington. This is Hoquiam also. I mean, we could have problems along some of the slopes of the Olympic Mountains and across some of Southwest Washington. Again, the steeper areas here could be dealing with some landslide threat. I mean, you're talking about almost 4 inches showing up here in the latest GFS in a 24-hour period ending sometime midday Sunday. So this is looking at total precipitation in inches on the National Blend of Models. I put this into motion. This is that activity going on today. This should be falling as snow across the mountains. So that's fine and dandy, right? But then you see the shot. There it goes. So as we go through the day, Saturday into Sunday, you can see this heavy precipitation. Again, a nice shot of rain for much of the area. Some areas of the Cascades could be getting up over 4, 5, 6 inches. So yeah, we got to watch out again here, folks. But then hopefully we get a break after that, but no promises. Looking at total snow in inches on the National Blend of Models, you'll see that snow kind of piling up as we go through the day today. Overnight into Friday morning here, still going to be snow across the mountains. And the next system arrives. It starts as snowfall, right, as we go through Saturday night, but then it'll be changing over sometime early Sunday morning here. And you notice the snow stop piling up. It'll change to some rain. So yeah, be some interesting conditions there across some of the pass areas for sure. This is the GFS hot off the presses as of this morning. Here goes our system swinging through now. Residual showers through tomorrow. Get a bit of a break. Then the atmospheric river arrives as we go on in through Sunday. And then hopefully we get a bit of a break here before some of these next systems try to make their way in. This is later next week. A weak system moves through. And the Gulf of Alaska troughing kind of starting to show up a little bit more active as we go on through mid-December as well, with some interesting storms taking aim at the Pacific Northwest. But again, we have a lot of time to look at that, and we'll worry about that in the previous upcoming days. You can see Tacoma, Narrows, and SeaTac are on the wrong side of the threshold here as far as landslides are concerned, and we're just going to be adding to that as we go through the day Sunday. So that's the concern we have here across some of Western Washington. That would include some of BC and Western Oregon also. But anyway, yeah, you can see our next atmospheric river out here. Again, it's not that sinister thing that we just went through, but it is still noteworthy because things are quite saturated. And if nothing else, once this system comes through, you know, things are going to be really saturated out there. Rivers and streams will be high. The soil will have much less ability to absorb a lot of that rainfall. So we are setting the stage for if we bring another atmospheric river here in the next couple of weeks or so, we could be looking at some really nasty flooding. But anyway, we'll worry about that, you know, one thing at a time here. Let's get through this system first. But anyway, hope you guys are liking these videos. Click like and subscribe. We'll do this again tomorrow, and I will talk to you guys then.